content of this channel is for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button. And please, feel free to share the video. Thank you.
What's cracking, y'all? What's good with y'all, man? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. It's the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, with no chasers. Before I get things started, man, I want to let everybody know, man, if you're in the room, man, you're in the chat, man, like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification button, man, so you can stay abreast of what's going on here on the Green Gorilla channel, man. I know I haven't been here for a while. Took a little brisache, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, some of the things I've been seeing, man, in the social media spaces that I occupy, man, had me like railing. And I wanted to pull back from that bull crap for a little while, man, because I was going to say some things I ain't had no business saying, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I want to also give a shout out, man, to all my haters, man. What's good with y'all, man? I hope y'all having a pleasant afternoon. Shout out to the haters, man, because there's a lot of haters out here. Can't even talk, can't even speak. You understand what I'm saying? You start saying something, they start hating. Man, crazy. You know, the next order of business is what I always do, man. I got to give a special shout out to all of the members of the channel, man, who keep me going and who keep this thing pushing. Shout out to Artist and MC, Desmond Brown, Donnell 360, Kisses from Afar, Herbert Lewis, Seven Coast Dojo, Rogish the Billmonger, Destro 1, Pulpit 28, and Michael Ross. Big up to y'all. Shout out to Charles Rogers, Papa Didas, Travis King, Raiz Muajid, Adam Williams, B. Hillfire, Rick Ross, Sandra Jean 955, Timothy Blewett, and Brotherly Love 215. Big up to y'all, man. Big up to Charles Gilmore, Diego Harry, Patricia Colley, 7Q Pitt, Kwaku Asasi, Supertech, Liz Terrell, Gregory Oliver, Greg, Antonio Ferrier, and Barry Little. Big up to y'all. Big up to Alan Wiley, Mr. Valentino, Jason Hales, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, 77 Base X, Omni Americana, Cameron 87, Deshaun Nolly, Brian Peaks, Nelso, and Apex Prowler. Big up to y'all, man. Big up to Kareem, Doc LaRock, Jay Charles, Mark Holt, Lee Ways, Jeffrey Speed, The Face, Mark Swift, Show Me, Black Dog, and I Collar. Big up to y'all. Big up to Deanne, Donna Watts, Cozy Corner, hiphop.catv, Coach DC, The Remedy, Kashif Caldwell, I Am Black Man, Nichita, Mr. Blue Collar, and Barnolas. Big up to y'all, man. Big up to Kyle J. Sura, I'm Just Jules, Brian McMurray, TD Hip Hop Media, Drew Main, Mr. Heat, Afro Shop, Sir Anthony, MLR, Universal 178, and Black Swerve 404. Big up. Big up to Rasheed Barnes, Aaron Smith, DH, C Truth the Revelator, Gold Professor, Arthur Unknown, Dr. Tiasan Johnson, Kalon Jakala, Ricky Dawson, Cedric Bowman, True 7360, BK Born Shaheed, James Washington, Hostile Adep, W. Pierre 1, BGS Ibmore, and Marvin Battle Jr. And I cannot forget my brother in heaven, Forrest Windu. Big up. And on my Patreon side, I gotta give a shout out to Jules Winfield, Romello Scruggs, Ryan, Darnell Smith, Chris York, Excalibur, Jason Warren, Soul Pen, Anu219, Pursuer Prisoner, Taz, Kwaku 217, Dragon 59, Supreme Ibmore, Adrian Hicks, Jay Bailey, Mr. Michi Momal, and Asangwa. Big up to y'all, man. Man, y'all deserve a round of applause, man. Thank you so much for supporting the Green Gorilla channel and dealing with me and my bullshit. Thank you. Thank all of y'all so very, very much, man. I appreciate y'all for all the things y'all do, man. Appreciate the support and the help, man. And if you're wondering how you can become a member of the Green Gorilla channel, well, here's how you do that. What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Today, I want to introduce you to my new membership program that consists of 5 levels where you can invest in the Green Gorilla channel on a monthly basis and receive level-specific perks. Memberships are special because they improve the quality of the content of the channel and will help me to be able to keep the channel going. Now, to participate in the Green Gorilla channel membership program, all you have to do is hit the join button, which is located right next to the subscribe button on my channel page. Now, for all of my subscribers who decide not to participate in my membership program, nothing will change. The content will keep coming the way it always has. Thanks for watching, and be careful out here, people. Bless. Alright, man, we back, man. I'm back, man. What's good, man? I'm here. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong show to step to. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Every now and then, man, you got to take a break from this crazy stuff, man, because it'll have your head spinning. You'll be angry all dang on day, man. You'll be mad all damn day. So it is what it is. But, you know, what I wanted to talk about today, man, was shaming tactics. And how futile they are, man. And it's, you know, it's gotten to the point, man, where you can't say anything anymore, man. Like, comedians can't say anything. Musicians can't say anything. Content creators can't say anything. But I just want to remind y'all, man, real talk, man. You do not need permission to speak, man. Whatever it is that you got to say, you have the ability to say it and the right to say it and the moral authority to say it. Whether that speech offends someone or appears to be a lack of support of them and their demographic, you have the right to say whatever it is that you want to say, man. But they're going to come around and come along and try to shame you and stop you from talking. And they're going to use guilt, and they'll use insults, and they'll use hyperbolic language in order to try to keep you quiet, to keep your lips zipped. But you don't need permission to speak, man. And I said this over a year ago. Over a year ago, man. So I'm going to revisit something from the past, man. It's a short video that I made a long time ago. You know, the video and the audio is not quite where I would have liked it to be, but I started doing this month. In May, a year and 3 months ago, that's when I started doing this. The first series of videos. I'm going back to that time. And I'm going to show you this video, and then I'm going to follow up with some commentary after that. But peep the video, man. We're going back in time, man. We're going to take a time capsule back to the past and see what I had to say and see if it bears on what's occurring now in these here YouTube streets. Peep. What I want to do today is have a conversation about something. What is that something, you might ask? Mansplaining. Yeah, mansplaining. So, the Oxford's definition of the term goes as follows. The explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing. For example,
A pregnant woman telling a male obstetrician that the baby is coming, only to be ignored and waved off by the OBGYN, and then told that the expected little bundle of joy isn't coming for at least a few hours from now, while the crown of the baby's head is poking out the rim of her vagina. Now that would be considered mansplaining. Or men explaining something to women about what women are already experts in, like how to do their hair, or how to shape their nails, or how to apply their makeup. Each of those, in earnest, I would admit, could be considered to be examples of mansplaining. This is because men typically don't know what the hell they're talking about in relation to these issues, except that is if they're gay men who tend to know more about them than the basic woman. But I don't want to even get into all of that. Now, I'm of the opinion that most of the time, when men are doing what women consider to be mansplaining, they're merely trying to make small talk with women, because they really don't have anything substantive to talk to them about anyway. So the man trying to make a favorable impression will usually just say any old thing, and sometimes end up putting his foot in his mouth. Now, as far as I'm concerned, again, such matters are trivial, and no man or woman should really give the issue much weight. At other times, though, the man has an opinion about a controversial moral problem in our society, and has a strong opinion about it that does not match up with that of a particular woman, a group of women, or an entire social movement, like, for example, feminism. But I'll get back to this point in a minute. So, just the other day, I had the privilege of seeing 3 distinguished black men with doctoral degrees on an online panel dedicated to discussing black men's issues. The men were articulate, they were well-mannered, and they were armed with a considerable amount of database knowledge related to the issues they were discussing. As soon as the conversation started getting good, some random female gadflies began to hover in on the conversation as flies are wont to do when a horse drops a fresh pile of shit. For them, it was just too much to resist. It was another opportunity to interject with comments about black women. So, if you don't spend most of the time, or a good chunk of it, saying something extra special or nice about how strong black women are, about how bad black women have it, or about how oppressed black women are, or about how they might be raped or sexually assaulted in the next 5 seconds, you will be accused of mansplaining. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is complete and utter bullshit, and it's a shaming tactic designed to prevent you, black men, from looking after your own interests and your own needs first. So, black men, I'm here to tell you, you do not need permission to speak. Not from your wife, not from your mother, not from your sister or your auntie. You do not need permission to speak. Not about your joys, not about your pains, not about your struggles, or whatever the hell else it is you're going through. You do not need permission to speak. Not about your fears, your hopes, or your dreams, or your difficulties in attaining them. Black men, you do not need permission to speak. You see, women today have no inhibitions whatsoever when it comes to talking about issues related to men, issuing insults to men, belittling or humiliating men, poking fun at or ridiculing men.
Make fun of
But as soon as you push back against this blatant misandry, they accuse you of being a woman hater.
Yep.
A terrible misogynist.
Yep.
Somebody who's engaging in misogynoir. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Fuck your feelings.
Fuck them.
Welcome to the big game, ladies, where the force of the better argument holds sway.
That's right.
Black men, you do not need permission to speak.
None whatsoever.
Green Gorilla Channel. G with a PhD. I'm out.
Now that was a flash from the past. Something I did a long time ago. But I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to get back to what I'm about to do, man, in a quick second. I'll be back, man. All right, man, I'm back. You know who I am, man. I'm GG. And you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla Channel. And this is supposed to be a place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chasers. But it's a lot of people who want to chase us up out of here, man. They got petitions now trying to get rid of content creators who say things that they don't like. You did. But check it though. The problem is, black man, no one in the black population, and I ain't even calling it a community, I'm gonna start referring to it as the black population. Because I don't perceive it as a community. But no one in the black population has a problem offending you, black man. No one has a problem characterizing you, black man, as a problem. No one. You can be characterized as sexist. You can be characterized as a perpetuator of rape culture. You can be characterized as an abuser or someone who supports violence against women. And no one has a problem holding you accountable or making you responsible for some shit that you haven't even done or something that you've never even participated in. All you gotta do is speak. All you gotta do is use the word. And then all of a sudden, your words can be twisted like knaves, setting a trap for fools. And then all of a sudden, you can become demonized, stigmatized, and put into a category where you're supporting something that's damaging to another segment of the black population or a subset of the black population. But you know what? That shame and shit, it's over, man. It's done. The shaming is over. It's done. You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of getting this work. But we gonna keep giving them this work. We gonna keep giving them that work. And that bullshit is over with, bruh. It's done. It's over. The only thing they have to throw at you is shame. That's all they got to put at you. Shame. And cancel culture. But you know what's really pernicious about cancel culture, man? Cancel culture is trying to cut you off from your paper so that you actually can't be the type of man that they say they want. I mean, you look at all these people who are criticizing this space, but in particular, we're going to talk about Kevin Samuels because, that's where you see most people having, issues with the whole space to begin with, because he's the person who one can argue emanated from the space. And so they don't like the way he's talking. They don't like, the way he's making women feel. But damn, I thought y'all was grown, man. I thought y'all was some grown ass women. That's what I thought. But, the more and more I look at it, man, I'm seeing some infantilizing shit. And it's getting tiring, man. Y'all acting like fainting couch ladies in the Victorian era, like y'all can't keep yourself composed because somebody says something you don't agree with or talk to you sternly. Come on, man. Stop it. Get some help, man. Y'all need some help, man. Because if you're a grown-ass motherfucker in this culture, man, if you can't bear to hear criticism, but you can issue criticism, you're full of shit, bro. Or sis. That's all I'm saying. I see you, Chris. That's my sis in this bitch. What's good, sis? All I'm asking for is what ought to be understood. Namely that if you can criticize, you can take criticism. If you can dish it out, you can take it. And then nobody's forcing y'all to listen to shit in this space. It's a lot of ladies, man, that don't want to hear shit that's being said in this space. But guess what? You don't have to be in this space. This space ain't for you to begin with. But of course, Kevin Samuels' show is a different matter because he's talking to women, trying to give them some insight that, look, lady, what you doing ain't working. And some of the poor choices and some of the bad behavior and some of the shitty attitudes that y'all have, it's not leading up to the results that you want. That's all that's being said. But we can't even go there. Now, if it's being said to the point where you're getting criticized and critiqued, or now you're advocating violence. But that's some straight bullshit. See, look, let me just say this, man. Let me break this shit down philosophically to some degree, but let me do it in the street philosophical way, so you can comprehend what it is that I'm saying. And thank you for the donation on the Cash App, Rashid. Appreciate that. But let me break this down philosophically, man. On existential grounds, man. You are born with a mouth, man. But that mouth, since the day you were born, people want to silence. And that's the facts. It starts with your parents who tell you to shut up, to listen, and to follow orders. Now, let's just be honest about this, man. To some degree, that's necessary. That censorship is necessary in order to provide you with practical wisdom. To learn the familial hierarchy and to teach you how to restrain yourself so as not to incur the wrath of your superiors, which are your elders, your bosses, your teachers, but also your peers. So some of that's necessary when you are a child. Now you gotta listen to your elders, your bosses, and your teachers so you can learn, so you can make some money, and so you can basically conform to societal norms. You need to be able to do that. And the latter set, your peers, so that you don't get your ass whipped. Because if you talk too much around your peers, you could get your ass whipped, okay? Or so that you don't become a social outcast. You feel me? But when you become an adult, man, when you become an adult, you have to be able to exchange reasons with other adults, especially in a society that declares itself to be a democratic society, man. Those are the facts, man. I don't care what you say about it, what you think about it. The reality is we live in a democratic society, so-called. So you got to be able to exchange reasons. And if you don't like those reasons, you should be prepared as a fucking adult to be able to challenge those persons' arguments and their reasons with other arguments and reasons. That's just how this game goes. All this old fainting couch shit. Oh, I can't take it. I can't take it. That's over, man. That's over with, man. It's done. Don't fall for that, man. Because if other people can express how they feel and how they think, then you have the capacity also to express how you feel and how you think. But the funny thing about this is, people talk about, well, I don't like his tone. He's an asshole. He's too aggressive. Or the manosphere in general is, too aggressive. People there are too, off-putting. Come on, man. Like, that's the arguments we're going to have. Those are the kind of shenanigans we're about to engage in. We grown people, man. Put your man pants on. Put your woman pants on. Put your panties on. And get prepared. Hey, man, look, I'm just saying. But this is a cupcake culture we live in, man, where you can't even say shit anymore. And I'm going to tell you where all of this began. All of this started on college campuses. All of this started on the college campus where people began to argue that, okay, well, your speech is hate speech and your speech causes trauma. And so therefore, being exposed to your ideas and your thoughts and your point of view is harmful to my psyche. This is where they've gone now. But they don't have a problem characterizing you as the scum of the earth. I just don't understand that shit. I don't get it. There's nothing worse than being belittled. And then you have no capacity to exchange or even explain yourself because these people are going to say any rebuttal is a form of violence. This is where it's going. And I'm telling these people, man, like, I don't care if you're part of the LGBTQ community. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you black, white, red, brown, whatever the case may be. It's too much of this shit going around. Even the people in the civil rights movement didn't do this, man. They came out and had conversations, tough conversations with people they disagree with. But now, you can't even speak at all because they have the threat of creating social death for you. They're trying to basically cut you out of civil society, man, if they don't agree with you. This is bullshit, man. And I'm here to tell you, I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to basically tell you, do not relent. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't get caught into the emotional mumbo jumbo. Keep speaking. Keep talking. Keep pushing. Thank you, T Fitness, for you. Appreciate the support. Appreciate that. Also, appreciate the support from earlier. I know somebody else gave me some support. But at the end of the day, we're not going to be silenced, man. We're not going to be shut off, cut off like a spigot. We're going to keep spitting. We're going to keep speaking, whether you like it or not. Bottom line, we're going to keep talking whether you like it or not. This shit is long overdue. It's long overdue. But back to my philosophical reasons, man. Shout out to Man Friday, man. Thank you so much for the support, my brother. Appreciate that. And Raish, you're exactly right. It's called tone policing. But the thing is, here's the funny thing about tone policing. Let me put that comment back up. You got a group of angry feminists, man, who have basically come out and said throughout a long period of time, they're angry, keep the anger up, be mad, be pissed off, be vitriolic. They want to be able to express those emotions publicly, which is a form of rhetoric, is what it is. Being angry, being, defiant or whatever the case may be, that's a mode of rhetoric. But it's one that they want accepted on their behalf, but they don't want anyone to counter them with a similar display of aggression or anger or frustration. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Now look, let me just say this, man. You are, to use Heideggerian language, man, because I'm a philosopher, so you are a being there. You are a being in the world. You are a Dasein. You are required, to the extent that you are authentic and responsible, you are required existentially to open up and to disclose new worlds, new thoughts, new habits, new practices, and new ways of seeing, being, and doing things. You're required to do that just because of the kind of creature you are. It's not enough for you to mimic and ape what others around you are doing in order to be accepted. You are a unique manifestation that emerges from the human community, man, and the natural community. And you have a duty to express yourself on your own terms. On your own terms. But nowadays, people who experience discomfort over criticism, again, are regarded as being subjected to violence. This shit must stop, man. They gonna get this work regardless, man. That's what they don't want. They don't want to get this work. They don't want this work, man. But they gonna get this work regardless. You have a right as a citizen in a democratic liberal republic, man, to speak your mind and to talk about anything that's on your mind. As long as it's not directly harming someone else. We're not talking about indirect harm. We're not talking about offending someone's sensibilities. We're talking about having difficult conversations. But now it's gotten to the point where we can't even have difficult conversations because the conversation might offend someone's sensibility and cause them to fucking faint, to fall out. Sir Anthony, yes. As in Heidegger, yes, sir. Now the thing is, how can you have the backbone but be fainting and crying like the motherfucking Tin Man from the Wiz and shit? Tee-hee, tee-hee. How can you be the backbone but have no backbone? This is what we tripping off of. Like, what? How could you be so strong but be so fucking weak? That shit is not weakness at all. That's a shaming tactic, bruh. That's all that is. That is an act of aggression. Trying to silence somebody, that's what your parents do. That's what your teachers do. That's what your bosses do. But black men done had it up to the neck, man. It's over now, man. Black men are done with this bullshit. It's gotten to the point where whatever it is we go through is insignificant, non-consequential. I've been seeing shit, man, like it's crazy the shit I've been seeing, man. I saw a fucking 10-year-old girl, man, go off on her own goddamn daddy, man. Man, you know how hot I was when I saw that shit, man? Oh, man, I was hot than fish grease, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. Let me cut this shit off, man. I was hotter than fucking fish grease, man, when I saw that shit. You got a little girl shutting her daddy off? But this is the kind of culture we live in. Let me calm down, man, because if I don't have my music, man, I'm going to start cursing, man, like again and again, over and over and over and over. I'm going to just start, man, I'm going to start cursing motherfuckers out. But man, that had me hotter than hot. So you can make us feel uncomfortable as you want to make us feel, but as soon as we bring an issue to you and put you on the hot seat, that's oppression. That's violence. As soon as we even talk about it or bring it up as a point of contention, it's problematic because, you know, we're supposed to just sit back and be quiet and shit, be stoic. Man, I learned a long time ago, man, a closed mouth don't get fed. Crystal Crouch, you damn right, sis. And that's my real sis right there, you know what I'm saying? I fucks. Crystal is my sister, man, for real. That shit was some fucked up parenting. But this shit goes on all day, every goddamn day in the black population, because I ain't calling it a community. Because we don't commune with each other. See, back in the day, people who used to live around each other used to travel together. They used to have dinner together. Their children used to spend the night over each other's house together. That was the community. People used to leave each other their door keys. This new shit, I don't know what this is. This just a neighborhood. It ain't a community, it's just a neighborhood. So I'm saying the black population is rampant, man. Kids talking crazy to their daddies and shit. Thank you, Aaron Smith. I appreciate that. So you can't even talk to your damn child? You can't correct your child? It's gotten to the point where you can't even tell your little girls, sit your ass down and be quiet. It's too much, man. And then you wonder why we have something to say. You wonder why we have all of this aggression and all of this hostility. And you wonder why. You're at a loss. You don't get it, huh? Anybody subjected to the kind of shit that black men have been subjected to over the course of the past 60 years, man, would drive any motherfucker crazy. That's why I say black men are superheroes, man. We're superheroes. So give yourself a pat on the back, man. And don't be quiet, man. Don't let these people shame you into silence. Don't let them do that, man, because that's what they want. But if you're an adult, you ought to be able to hear what another party has to say. Or a group, another identity group. You ought to be able to hear what they have to say, especially since you've been saying this shit for the past 60, 70 years. Y'all done had a field day with this. Now it's time for you to get this work. Now it's time for you to get this work, man. It's time for y'all to get this work. Bottom line, it's time for y'all to get this work. And let me go back to my philosophical rambling, man, because I'm kind of getting off the main point, man. Look, man, on political grounds, I talked about the existential grounds for you being able to say what you want to say. Hold on, let me stop, man. Let me stop my music, man. Let me stop my music. Hold on, hold. We got an obscene comment in this hoe. Bitch, who the fuck you talking to? Who the fuck are you talking to? You need to get your ass out of this motherfucker. Who in the fuck you talking to? No, you said my panties in a bunch, bitch. That's why I called you a bitch. This is the problem with you bitches. You don't show no fucking respect. Get your motherfucking ass out of here, bitch. See, this the shit we talking about. This the shit we having conversations about. Now you wonder why you getting called a bitch, right? Because you feel like you can come in here and say any motherfucking thing you want to say. Fuck out of here. See, this the disrespect that we talking about. Bitch, don't worry about who the fuck hurt me. Don't worry about what the fuck I've been through. You don't even give a fuck, bitch. That's the issue. You think you can come in here and be disrespectful on the slick? You got the wrong nigga for that one. You got me fucked up. You don't like what the fuck you hear here? Get out of here. What you gonna do, cancel me, motherfucker? I ain't gonna report. I'm gonna snitch on you. Put your motherfucking panties on, bitch. That's what I'm saying. You better come correct when you coming to me, because I ain't for that bullshit. I'm not for that bullshit. I'm not for it, man. See, you wanna be respected, but you don't wanna be respectful. See, that's the shit we talking about. And then what you do is you go run to some nigga, or you go run to these goddamn crackers and try to put us in check with them motherfuckers. That's the shit we talking about, man. I'm not for that shit. I'm not for that. And yeah, I will call a woman a bitch. Like Tupac say, you wonder why they call you bitch. I bet you. Or you'll say something like, okay, well, I deserve to be treated somewhat respectfully. Man, fuck all that. If you can't give respect, you're not going to receive it. We show respect over here. I got women that I show respect to all goddamn day. And you won't hear me get angry or get belligerent unless you know you're doing some shit you ain't got no goddamn business doing in this motherfucking space. But see, you want to be able to say some ignorant shit, but I'm going to take it 10 times. See, if you want to get ignorant, I can get fucking dumb. I can go stupid dumb. If you want to start getting fucking dumb, I can go stupid dumb. See, the thing is, we talking about shit that matters to us, and the first thing y'all do is you come around and you come with some fucking disrespect. This the shit we talking about. This the shit we talking about. It's the shaming, the insulting, and then you belittling what the fuck we going through. It's gotten to the point now, you got women, man, who feel like they can step over dead men's bodies and make money, bruh. And cash out. Get a deal like a token or something, man. Thank you, Romello. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. It's to the point now you can step over our dead bodies, make some cash, get a corporate deal, and then talk about another identity group. And then tell us, oh, well, why you got your panties in a bunch? Bitch, I don't wear panties, bitch. I take them off. I slip them to the side and stick my dick in it. That's what I do. If you didn't know. If you want to know. I'm the one telling you take your panties down. Pull them off. Motherfucker trying to tell me to pull my skirt down.
Pull your skirt down, B.
This why I stayed off this shit for a minute. Because I'll go off on a motherfucker, bruh. You actually, look, you've been getting some real clean, sterile shit for a long time from me. But you don't know what the fuck going through my mind and coming to me with some bullshit. All you motherfucking fake ass goddamn social media motherfuckers better watch out, man. Stop coming at people with ignorance. You know how to talk to people respectfully. You don't go to your boss and tell that motherfucker when he tell you some shit, Oh, well, what's got you in with your panties in a bunch together, boss? You don't tell that nigga that shit or that cracker that shit, but you'll come to us and tell us that fuck shit. And then don't want to be called shit. You want to be treated, okay, this is so disrespectful. But you can be as disrespectful as you want to be. See, that's the thing. Ain't no fucking consequences and repercussions for these motherfuckers. They've been living like hoes in dick factories for too goddamn long, being disrespectful, man. If you respect me, I'll respect you. It's to the point now, motherfuckers feel like they can do anything to you. They can say anything to you. And you're supposed to just fall on the sword. You're supposed to just take it because that's what men do, right? Men just take abuse. Men take passive-aggressive behavior. Men take anything from anybody. Man, fuck that shit. Then you wonder why men are brutal. Then you wonder why. I don't take bullshit from people. I don't take it from niggas. I damn sure ain't about to take it from you, or you a motherfucker I don't even know. So you can kick rocks out this hole. But I don't mind a motherfucker coming in and having a critical evaluation of what it is I'm saying. But what you ain't about to do is start with this, well, who hurt you? Motherfucker, maybe you hurt me, bitch. How about that? How about you hurt me then? How about you going to these white motherfuckers calling the police? How about that shit hurt me? How about you trying to cut off my money and my platform? How about that shit hurt? And you know this shit hurt. That's why the fuck you doing it. But you want to do it with no motherfucking goddamn repercussions and consequences. You want to be able to do it without us saying shit about it. That's the issue. You want to be able to fuck us around, dog us out, say disrespectful shit to us, and we the lie down, man. Then you don't want to be checked. Then the first thing you do is you call another nigga, or you go to the police or some shit. I'm so afraid. Man, fuck that shit. That's some coon shit, man. Next thing you know, oh, well, he said, fuck me, I can't, I'm a bitch now, I can't take it. You ain't gonna keep fucking us around, you ain't gonna keep talking to us disrespectful. Period. That ain't about to happen, not on this channel. I know that shit. If you come with some respect, you'll get it. Man, you fucking with the wrong one, man. You fucking with the wrong one, man. You fucking with the wrong one, man. But anyway, man, you, man, are living in a society that's based upon the freedom of speech. That's the First Amendment. Bitch, if you don't get your whack ass out of here, get this bitch out of here, man. You want more punishment? Fuck up out of here, man. the fuck up out of here. Stay in your own lane. You don't like what the fuck you hear here, don't come here. Troll somebody else, somebody goddamn where else. I swat flies. Fuck off my shit. But it's the freedom of speech. You feel like you can come, set trip, say ignorant shit, and it's all to the good. No, it ain't all to the good. Motherfuckers know when they being disrespectful. You take it one time, you'll take it 2 times. You'll take it 3 times, you'll take it 4 times. You take it 4 times, you'll take it 5 times. And that's what they expecting. You feel me? I ain't for that bullshit, man. I come here to have a rational, cogent, reasonable conversation about what the fuck we going through. And then you got these strags coming in here acting like assholes, thinking that they can run shit or make any kind of comment and belittle and make merry off what the fuck we talking about. The shit we talking about is serious as cancer. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck up out of here. I mean that shit. Straight up. You don't like it, get the fuck, burn the flames. But anyway, man, we live in a culture. And chief among the rights that exist here is the right to the freedom of speech. Now, you can say what you want to say, but don't expect for me not to respond to the shit you say. You come to me with some ignorant energy, I'm going to give you some ignorant ass motherfucking energy to the 15th, 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th power. You come to me with some respect, I'm going to give you respect to the 20th, 30th, 40th, and 50th power. That's how I operate. I give you what you give me. You give me some motherfucking respect, I'm going to show you some. But you can't walk in, show disrespect, and then require, demand, make it obligatory for me to respect you. Fuck that, man. And guess who taught me that? My mama, motherfucker. How about that? My mama taught me that shit. How about that? On my dead mama's soul, she told me that. She said, fuck it, don't let nobody disrespect you, son. Now, sometimes I'll hold back and show deference. But see, this is why I decided, man, look, let me hold back from being on here because I'm tired of this bullshit and the rigmarole. Motherfuckers don't believe fat meat greasy till they come and cook their ass. Yeah, man. So anyway, you can't curtail our speech, man. Because you find it uncomfortable and it rattles your sensibilities. So damn what? So fucking what? So what? Boo-hoo. Cry me a river, man. What you gonna do? Call the cancer police? Come on, man. What you gonna do? Huh? I'm gonna get somebody to get you. Man, fuck that shit. We tired of being shamed. And we gonna keep speaking regardless as to whether you like it or not. We like Hydra in this motherfucker. You cut one of us down, we gonna come 3, 4 in the place of the head you just cut off. That's how we working. We've been silent long enough. We done fed on the sword long enough. You think I'm some ways tired? Like, really, for real, man, look. Hey, man. Hey. I'm just saying, man, look. You think I'm some ways tired, man? Not for real. Every now and then I get tired of dealing with rigmarole because I know how I react. Got me fucked up.
Shit.
You got the wrong one. But then I'm gonna be made out to be what? Oh, you teaching them how to hate? You teaching people how to hate? Motherfucker, you taught me how to hate. That's the shit. You the hate that hate made. You the disrespect that disrespect made. This the shit, man, motherfuckers don't get. I'm doing a show on this shit tomorrow. A bitch is a bitch. How about that? How about that? Because, see, people don't like that karma. People don't like karma. People don't like that. They don't like to receive what they give. They don't like to experience what they put others through in relation to experience. But you think I'm feeling shame?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
I have no shame. No. Are you mad at what I'm saying?
I can't argue with you. No. You mad. Look at you. You mad. You big mad.
But anyway, man. They say what don't kill you make you stronger. That's what they say. And when you get short doses and exposure to viewpoints, ideas, principles, arguments that are different than your own on social media, in the press, and in the public, then you become a better and more effective democratic citizen is what you actually become. If you want to live in a dictatorship, go somewhere where they got a dictatorship where all the ideology is laid out before you. If you want to be like cozy kittens and cupcakes and shit like that, go over there to them channels. You definitely don't have to be at this motherfucker, because I ain't asking you to come in this bitch. I'm asking you to stay away. I rebuke you to hellfire, demon. Get the fuck away. Leave. Dracarys. No, I ain't wasting my time because I'm talking about this very self-same shit, brother. And yeah, you're right though. It's over with, man. For us just sitting back, just taking bullshit, taking disrespect, and then they come in, well, I can say you got panties and I can call you all kind of gay and say you're hurt and you're fragile and you're no, man, all that shit is over with. That's done. We've been silent too long. And what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Not a fucking thing. Nothing. Except for flag a video or some punk ass shit. Cancel culture in and of itself is some fuck shit. Some bullshit. In and of itself is some cupcake, snowflake bullshit. It's always been that way. Oh, I don't like what you said, so it's violent, and so therefore, you hate it. What if I do hate you, motherfucker? What, you gonna stop me from hating you? If I did hate your ass. If I hated you, what can the fuck you do about it? You gonna force me to like you, motherfucker? What, you gonna force me to pedestalize you? Forcing me to sacrifice myself for you? Forcing me? Through shame? Come on, man. That's over with, bruh. You said you want social and political equality. If you have social and political equality in a democratic society, then you have to listen to what other people say. And if you're going to be disrespectful to people in the context of a democratic society where everybody is a social and political equal of everybody else, then you got to take that fucking drama when it comes back to you. Period. See, you're going to get this work. Can't make, that's the problem. Motherfuckers act like you can force somebody to like them and some shit. Now we got like overweight motherfuckers. Because it's a form of oppression that I don't like you. You ain't got to like me. You know what I do if I don't like some shit? I don't buy into it. I tune it out. And I keep pushing to the next spot. I go to the club, I don't like what I see there. Guess what I do? I go to another fucking club. Period. End of fucking story. I don't sit around trying to find ways to fuck with people. If I don't like some shit, I say, hey, time me to burn out. This is not a place that looks welcoming to me. And I jet out somewhere else. What is this fucking H.G. Wells shit, some Orwellian shit? Like, what is this? Where you can force people to think a certain way and adopt an ideology? You think this from Cuba or some shit? Like Stalinist Russia, Communist China? We have to accept what you say. And we have to be nice to you because, you don't like some shit, you leave it alone. It's just that simple. I got somebody named JT here. What's up? What's cracking? You on the Green Gorilla channel.
What's up, bro?
What's happening?
Yeah, what's up? Man,
talk to me.
Just here, listen to you. Talk about, how women, after time don't respect what men gotta say. They're gonna try to belittle what we say and make it all about them. And, it's sad. It's sad.
See, look, here's the thing, man. We've been listening to browbeating for the past 60 years, man. I mean, bottom line, like we've been hearing people come at us, accuse us for a whole host of immorality, illegality, a whole bunch of viciousness for decades. But when you turn the mirror around or you point the finger in the other direction, all of a sudden it becomes something unbearable. It can't be handled. To me, that's bullshit. I'm not dealing with this no more, man. That's fake, man. That's bad faith bullshit. You talking about grown ass people. People know how to be respectful. You're not gonna convince me that a grown ass woman don't know how to be respectful. That's a lie. That's a motherfucker testing. That's a motherfucker putting their foot in the water to test it. Let me see how far I can take this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now you know what? I even have endured abuse in my life. I have, but not no more.
Right, you're right. Who hasn't dealing with certain female women, man? I'm telling you, we all go.
I done dealt with abuse from men, not no sexual abuse, but I'm just saying, like, it happens, man. People are not always nice.
Yeah.
But don't expect for you to act unnice. You're not nice, but you want niceness coming at you. You want deference thrown to you.
It's just a respect thing. Like, I respect you, you respect me. That's it. But the thing is, women know there's a certain, you can't really hit a woman, but a man, we respect each other as men because we know if you're disrespectful, then motherfucker will take it there. But with a woman don't think like that. They know, if he hit me, I'm dialing 911. So they know they protected, and that's
and my point is, and I'm gonna do a show on this. That's coon shit. See, if you can take some shit, if you can dish some shit out, you got to be able to take some shit. You say you want to be equal socially and politically. No, you don't. You want to have what men have, and you want to have what women have always had. That shit ain't going to add up, man. Either you're going to be treated equally,
special privileges,
or you're going to be treated with deference as being a woman. It can't go both ways, because then I don't know how to approach you. So I'm keeping my gloves off. Period. I got PK Angel and Charlie Brown on the show. What's cracking with y'all, man? Let me put the brands up for the face go off on me and tell me that I ain't put the brand up, and then he mad because he can't see who talking. But like, look, I don't like to get ignorant. I really don't.
Yeah, you do.
But look, I got that ignorance in me.
You like it, don't lie. Y'all know.
I really don't, man. If you don't fuck with me, bruh, look, I've even dealt with abuse in this space with motherfuckers talking slick to me.
True.
That's over with now, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to ask you to pull your motherfucking card out, and I want to see where you going with this shit for real. If you a tough motherfucker, you can curse niggas out, talk like you you got them blicks and all this shit. Come with the blicks, nigga. That's all I'm asking. I'm saying if you that tough to where you feel like you can just talk disrespectful to other men or anybody. Like, I'm not coming out talking disrespectful to any particular woman. I've never been on a woman's in a fucking space and made a comment directly to a particular woman about the content that she has. If I don't like her content, I'm not going to consume the shit. But in the service of dialogue, I'll even have a dialogue with a person I vehemently disagree with, as long as we're having a rational, cogent discussion about what it is we're talking about. But if you don't want to have a conversation, if you just want to come in and try to use insults and rhetorical flourishes, then I'm gonna cut you like scissors, man. I'm gonna cut you short. I'm gonna let some other people speak, though. I'm gonna let other people speak.
Depending on who it is, that's all they have in their toolkit anyway, is rhetorical tricks. They don't really have anything of substance to talk to you about. That's the point. I mean, I don't feel as though a person like you should waste your time speaking to someone who's just going to basically put you in a rhetorical trap every 2 seconds. That's a waste of your time and the audience's time as well, in my opinion, because no one's going to gain anything from that. You're just going to end up in a back and forth shouting match with someone who doesn't really want to have a genuine conversation to begin with, in my view.
But
I'm
look,
sure others would disagree, but that's just how I see it.
shout out to Shonda, man, because she, hold on. Let me shout out to Shonda. Because like it's certain women that come here and they know how to act and they know how to show the proper respect while they're here. And they're actually interested in listening to what we have to say because they actually have empathy. But then you got a certain group of jackasses, whether they be male or female, who like to come in and troll. Like the personality of a troll to me is just a person who's, they're narcissistic, man.
They're depraved.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't go to people's shit and troll. Like if I want to have an honest conversation in good faith, I will have one. Okay? With anyone. I'll have one with a white supremacist as long as he's cordial while we're having the conversation. Like the guys in the civil rights movement did. You saw Joe Brown have a conversation with a racist before. You seen John Henry Clark have a conversation with people who, disagree with him. I saw Francis Cress Welsing have conversations with white supremacists and shit like that. And remain calm and have the conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's go through this then. Let's engage in intellectual warfare, so to speak. But if you want to come out hurling insults,
people don't do that anymore. That's the problem. We've seen it here, even in this space, like you said earlier, that it's happening to you. And it's been happening for a while, and it's become progressively worse over time, even in the real world. People are not willing to have these conversations anymore. They're too tough to have, number one. Number two, I don't think people even have the genuine interest to have the real conversation. That's why they go and deliberately insult, or like I said, go to the rhetorical toolkit, because that's all they want to use. They don't actually want to have an honest dialogue.
I'm starting to feel
it
like
comes down to lowest common denominator of low hanging fruit, straw man, and trolling. Those are the only tactics that are used these days. Now, if you're talking to another intellectual, you may be able to have some sort of debate there, some sort of genuine conversation. But for the vast majority of people, especially here on the internet, you're not going to have that. It just isn't happening.
So, of course, the name of the show is the Gynocracy Shaming Tactics, or Futile. I'm telling you they futile because I'm shutting it down. And this is you're seeing an example of how I'm going to shut it down. Like you got women talking about, okay, kill men now, ask me how, black men are trash. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers calling the police on you after assaulting you. You know what I'm saying? You got crazy shit going on. You got children not being able to get into contact with their kids or have any impact over their children's lives. And then at the same time, you want to ask like, what's wrong with us? You don't even have empathy. You showing you don't give a fuck about us. Because you can't even come to us with respect. You don't even give a fuck about what it is we're saying. You want to harm us more. But we can deal with the harm. We can deal with it long as you can take some of this harm back. Long as you can get some of this work back. But you ain't all that those days of, well, I'm showing deference to you because you got a vagina, man. Look here, man. I'm going to show deference to people who show deference to me. Now, I'm not going to go out bashing and beating up motherfuckers or nothing if they offend me. But I damn sure will give you a piece of my mind. And guess who taught me that shit?
Your mother.
My mama. How about that? How about that?
Yeah, Gigi, you've been outlining it for the past few months. At this point, like you said it before, it's when we engage as far as these conversations with our women, it's disingenuous. At this point they plan. For a long time, I think our side has not been dealing with all the facts, so we've been played with and toyed with, and as far as like the respect goes, there's no respect because for lack of a better phrase, they have us fucked up. I mean, they think we're stupid at a certain level. I think that's why it don't even rise to like, why is this intellectual discourse not benefiting both parties? For me, from what the history is, I can see what it is. No matter what we said, no matter how we say it, the facts aren't relevant. It's a matter of them shaming and obfuscating the points. And at this point, like I'm 100% with the energy you got, Gigi, and a lot of the men in the space, because at this point it's starting to feel overtly disrespectful, and as if this us taking this civilized approach is not gaining any ground. We dealing with. I heard some young ladies talking yesterday about statistics about their perception of black men, irrespective of the statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's not even when you discussing very serious topics like this, and you're trying to use empirical data, and the other party is flat out ignoring it. That I feel is disrespect. That's fighting type of energy. Like at this point, I feel like if black women were men, they would have punched us. They would have just punched us by now. It wouldn't be all this talking, but they're not. So it's like it's essentially just the most disrespectful, the most intellectually dishonest and disrespectful you can possibly be without going to blows. And
that's over with for me. Like I'm done with it. I don't care if I offend you. I don't hate all women. I just hate motherfucking. I don't hate all men. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a few people that I really don't have a care for. I ain't gonna say, like I don't love all this everybody love everybody shit. No, man, cut that out, man. That's not nation. But hold on, I want to let T Fitness say some words because he ain't said nothing at all.
Okay, I just want to chime in. I think I heard what the brother was talking about yesterday, where the young lady flat out lied about statistics. She also skewed a few different things in terms of like black men and in terms of them marrying out 3 times the rate of black women, and also forgetting and not even mentioning the fact that at that same rate, our women were having babies outside of the race at nearly the same rate or more than we were, meaning they weren't married to the people that they were having these babies with, but at the similar rates, they were having babies outside. But I'm going to go back to something that, that is indelible with me. I went to the Million Man March when I was about 23 years old. And I remember leading up to that time, as black men, and particularly Minister Farrakhan and other black men, held black men accountable for a whole year in the media, and possibly even before that, at their mosque, in these meetings. And these brothers took responsibility. I'm talking about gangbangers. I'm talking about people who had left their children behind. These brothers did not take the words that were formed against them and tried to obfuscate, like you said. Their brothers took responsibility and went to what they call a World Day of Atonement. They didn't try to cancel anybody. They didn't cry the blues. But what ended up happening over the years is what we didn't know, that the things that were happening to us as individuals, family, interpersonal relationship, wives, custody relationships. I could say for myself, I thought that I was in a bubble, that this was, that maybe there's something wrong with me. And then, we get to these spaces and it's cut and paste. It's like we all go through the same thing. And, I've only been with college educated women. I've been with PhDs, children, my children and my wives with that. And, whether you're dealing with people who come from a disadvantaged background or advantaged background, they see brothers as a target. And of course, we love it when sisters are on our side, but when we see the constant lying and deflecting and escaping, you feel like everyone is pointing a gun at you. You got white supremacists over here, you got feminists over here, you've got all of these things that, I wasn't even aware of. The dopest thing you did, was you read that Combahee River manifesto, and that dropped my damn jaw. I said, this is the playbook.
I told you what the playbook was. I told you.
It's traitorous. I don't think there's any other words. I feel like we've been betrayed. And for a comrade to betray you, ain't no talking. I don't even want to talk. Like, especially if we not gonna come to some type of amicable understanding of what the situation has been and what your betrayal has looked like. And they're not there. We're going the total opposite direction. Seem like they're doubling down. Our community our female counterparts are doubling down in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, are doubling down on the dissension and betrayal. So I don't know what to do with that. And Gigi has been trying to intellectualize it. You didn't put it.
You know what? That's why I say, look, you don't know which G you gonna get. you want the gorilla or you want the gentleman.
Yeah,
it's all depending on how you walking around and talking around your damn self. Now, if you walking around respectfully and you coming respectfully, I'm gonna show you a whole bunch of respect. Nothing but respect. If you come to me with a whole bunch of nigga, you look like you gay or some bullshit like that, I'll be like, bitch, you need to get the fuck out of my face. You don't know me. I'm straight up and down, no special effects like that. Now I'm not gonna bother you if you come to me and say, hey sir, how are you doing? Like what's like, I really want to know what it is that you know that makes you tick. Why are you thinking the way you're thinking, and why are you saying some of the things you're saying? I really would like to have a conversation so that we can come to some resolution. But that's not being said. What's being said is, especially in these spaces, see, men are pouring their guts out in these spaces, bro. Yeah. And there's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of commentary, dialogue. Some of it's harsh, some of it's unfiltered, as it should be, because we're human beings. We don't all, put on, a suit and tie every time we leave the house. Sometimes we leave the house in Nikes or Cons or Adidas, and we hit the bricks. We ain't always dressed up looking like we going to church, okay? And human beings, we use pejorative terms sometimes, as everyone does, okay? So we're sitting here in a space where we can express to each other, it's consciousness raising. And then for somebody to come into the space where you're consciousness raising and then tell you, that's like me going in a fucking LGBTQ space telling them, well, what's got your dildo all up in your motherfucking anus today?
It's different.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That in and of itself would be off-putting to those persons, and they'll tell me kindly, get the fuck up out of here. You right or wrong?
They would be right.
So, for me to ask the same thing, you want me to be nice while I'm asking you to get the fuck up out of here. Well, after you done started some bullshit. And then the whole point is, like, the whole idea of who hurt you, motherfucker, you hurt me then. You did.
Yeah.
We telling you hurt us. How about that shit?
Oh my God.
You hurt us words.
Then. They do the same. It's the same shit over and over again. They don't, again, the playbook is so corny at this point. But, the lies are, the lies are the most egregious because they're so powerful with their lies. I even looking at that young lady talking about pretty privilege, the amount of times that she said, especially black women. I'm like, yo, you can't say especially black women on issues of discrimination based on looks. People get discriminated based on looks. I even had to write in a comment. Yeah, I lost a hell of a opportunity because this sister did not like the way I looked. And I had a child to take care of. I was a single dad. That affected my financial status for the longest time, but I had to keep pushing. I couldn't make her, look at me like she was looking at the Latino and the white boys that she had working at this spot. I had to just find a way to make it happen, but they never said, well, especially black men, we get treated a certain way. And it's one of the things that, disunifies us. But I really think at this point, Gigi and the rest of the brothers, I think a lot of these girls have learned things from a certain demographic over all of these years that have no interest in coming to the table with men whatsoever. After you read the copy, I'm like, yo, they are learning. They're learning from.
They're learning narratives. They're learning the narrative from their foremothers.
But who are those women, though?
Yeah.
That particular manifesto was written by black queer women at the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And who had no interest in black men. As we saw, only one of them ended up married to a man, and she married a white man at that. Charlene McCray, my namesake, by the way, married Bill de Blasio. At the end of the day, the things that were laid out in 1974, I believe that was written, is playing out to this day. They did an expert job of putting together, these ideas and these talking points, and they have permeated the culture to where it is, for those of us who know, we could see it coming a mile away, but a lot of people don't know it and can't see it coming a mile away. And like that sister's petition, I don't believe that girl wrote that petition on her own. I literally think that a think tank or a group helped her write that petition.
I disagree, bro. I think I listened to her point, and it essentially was baseless. Her whole petition, she has no reason to do it, and she tried to. I don't think she's a shill for any operation. I think she's a member of our community. Okay. This is just another demonstration of where there's no loyalty. She was willing to put a petition together on the grounds of nothing. She couldn't even make the position of why she was calling Kevin Samuels' content violent or whatever, or inciting violence. She couldn't even name it. She sat there for 2 hours and couldn't defend. So it started to realize that she hasn't really given this. She was using a bunch of talking points, narratives, and that's what I was telling my girlfriend this morning. I've realized that Black women generally are walking around with a bunch of fucking narratives passed down to them by their foremothers generations ago. And every generation, they're given a narrative. Even some of the popular culture helps cultivate that narrative. But it's by Black women, by other Black women, teaching narratives about Black men, about families, about what they should want out of life, where their place is. This has been going on since the plantation. At this point, and like the Comey River Collective, which, like you said, was a group of Black women, Black lesbian women that codified the thought process of Black women of the time. I don't think not just lesbians, because Sojourner Truth picked up on it and wrote about it herself, and then so on and so forth. Dozens and dozens of different variations of Black women's perspective of where they fall and how they perceive us. And we've not, I guess had cognitive dissonance about it regarding, or not enough information. We didn't want to believe that our women from the beginning have essentially been trying to get away from being the Black, so-called Black community. We thought we were a community. We thought we all were slaves and we're all trying to get it. No, it's not been that.
It's hard for some of us to see it, because me in particular, I have my sister, my mother, I have three of the dopest women that I've ever known. These sisters are like us, you know, and I grew up around that. So when I see all of these great women who are, thoughtful and they listen and you could debate, and they could see when you're dropping rational science and rational knowledge on them, that they, that they could, that they pick up on it without being, without having a standpoint that's, that's just going to throw away all of the facts. I see through my worldview.
Is that common for you? Do you run into a lot of Black?
That was see, my circle is limited. I grew up kind of in a 5% in the Nation of Islam, but not even just that. My circle had been limited. Once you go through, come up that way, and then you move into the suburban worlds, the university worlds, you tend to stay away from a lot of different type of people because they don't reflect your I was very selective. I made my own ecosystem, and that's why I'm shocked, man. It shocked me.
Yeah, it's deep. It's way deeper than and Gigi helped enlighten me as far as the scholarship he's done, as far as all the shit that's been around, but it's not been part of our cultural parlance. It's not been talked about within our families. It's something that it's something that's just been under the surface and been hidden with a bunch of fucking narratives that made it explained away a lot of the shit that was right in front of our face. That's the issue. It's narrative after narrative that has been skillfully crafted to position our women from their own mouths. And a lot of times they codified it. It wasn't handed to them by white women. They essentially gave the white women the script that they just built upon. That's the irony of the story.
It's a give and take. I would say it's a give and take. Okay, it's a symbiotic relationship. This is like Jason Whitlock recently said on his show, where he said, look, not all, but a lot of black women, man, licked their finger, put it in the wind, and saw that the shit wasn't blowing in black men's direction. So they moved in a whole different direction. We're on different paths right now. Now, I'm not saying this, look, I can't say, look, what I won't do is generalize. There's some women that get it, okay? But it's a lot of women out here clowning and playing games. And then they want to be taken care of like a traditional woman is taken care of, but they don't even have any inkling of how to behave around a real man to begin with, let alone show respect, such that they'll actually get the kind of man that they want. Like, they are oscillating back and forth like a fucking fan. They want a man who's strong enough to do their bidding. You know, like, you want to be able to fucking, you want to be a Delilah, and I'm Samson, and you want to be able to crack my shell, so I'm just like you the puppet master of me?
I've heard this. I've heard this before, and I can't remember where. This was a while ago. I was talking to an older fellow in my late teens, and he said something to the effect of women claim they want equality, however they strive for equity, but really what they truly want is supremacy.
Well, see, okay, so taking it back to academics, right? So, like, this is what one interpretation of a scholar named Curry, Dr. Tommy Curry, says about it, right? So he starts off by saying there's an intellectual move that was made right around the time of intersectional feminism, where you had a lot of white feminists echoing and utilizing social science that was, for the most part, it was racist, okay? And it was typecasting black men as abusive and sexist and rapists. Okay? I mean, this is just how the literature was. It was like, okay, black men aren't real men. There's something fundamentally or ontologically wrong with black men.
What's the time period, Professor? What's the time period you're referring to?
We're talking about the 50s. We're talking about a woman named Susan Brown Miller, and there's some other ones, okay? But like, she's one of the biggest ones, okay?
So early, okay.
And then black women just basically wrote into their own thinking the racist social scientists from the feminists who were putting forth these ideas about how deficient and how backwards and how pathological black men were. Now, there always has been this narrative and this trope in the context of American society that there's something deficient, ontologically backwards about black men. But we know why that is. It's because we're outgroup men.
Yeah.
And typically in any society where there's an outgroup male population, the in-group male population, and we're outnumbered 6-1 here, okay? So, and in some places way more than that, okay? But I'm just talking about gross numbers, okay? They attack battle-aged men and they manipulate women. That's why I did this show on thugs and welfare queens, and I basically asserted, look, they managed the black population in one or two ways, especially after the civil rights movement. They gave women the Great Society programs, which are, by the way, they're paternalistic. Anytime you can tell a group of people who they can associate with and who they can't associate with, and whether or not they'll receive benefits related to that, that's paternalism. That's domination. That means you don't have a choice. Okay, that's what domination is. Removing or subtracting choices from a person's set or a list of choices that they could actually have made. Now, they didn't do this to white people. They gave them the GI Bill. They gave them FHA loans. They subsidized their entire families. Okay? But when it came to us, they transmorphed a mother's pension program into a program that's supposed to be about families, absent black men, which they said basically you can't even be around. We want you to get out of the state. He can't even live in the same fucking state if we're going to give you aid. Okay, and then they walking up in the house, looking, checking closets and shit like that. That's not freedom. And then if you continuously bombard people through the educational system with certain tropes, narratives, and frames, and for the most part, you know, this is where we are. And then we got this shit stain of a population. I won't even call it a community anymore because I don't believe it is.
No.
Okay, it's a population. All right? You got a population of people who don't know how to work together, who are at a crossroads right now. There's a fork in the road. Well, for black women, the fork in the road was in the 60s and the 70s. And we're just not seeing the manifestations of all of this. Okay? But at the end of the day, don't expect for me to cape for you when you already done basically said, I'm nothing more to you than either a walking phallus, a sperm donor, or a debit card.
Debit card.
Yeah.
You know, that's not what I'm here for, man. I have the innate dignity that I was imbued with when I was born. I deserve to be respected. I will respect you if you respect me. If you disrespect me in a social, political state of equality, I'm going to fucking disrespect you back, man. If you come to me with some grace, some kindness, some empathy, I'm going to extend the same thing to you. You come to me with that ignorant shit, I'm going to come to you with that ignorant shit. How you want
You're
it?
right.
Dope or dog food? Which way you want it? Do you want dope or dog food? Which way do you want this shit?
And
one
DJ,
narrative
you're right.
that we gotta go at is the position. I think one narrative that all women have adopted is the narrative around income and wealth.
Of course.
It's like they
That's why they think they're richer than us.
Yeah, like
off the cuff, they think they're richer.
Antonio Moore put up a tweet of this young lady. She stated that 63% of Black America was in the middle class. It came from the Brookings Institute. But the Brookings Institute, in order for them to get that 63%, they included people with $22,000 worth of income. And how many women do you go up to day after day and you try to explain where we at as a position as ADOS, as far as FBA, whatever you want to call it, that we are not we're not even a healthy community as far as income, and you can't even get them to buy into that idea. Like,
no, they'll say that
it tweeted out. She other people tweeted out, thousands of people tweeted this out after her with bad information.
Because it's about anything that proves the narrative. The narrative is not true, but any information, any individual statistic they can find that prove, and that's like I said, when you're doing that, you're not being intellectually honest about your position. They're not trying to actually prove points. They're trying to prove narratives.
It's like I said earlier, man. They don't actually have any legitimate arguments, or really are interested in the conversation.
I agree, bro.
Most of these women aren't interested in that. They're put forth disingenuous information almost exclusively. You know, honestly, and that's just what it is. But anyway, I just was saying this so that I could hop off. So it was nice chatting with you,
man. Right on, bro. Thank you for joining me, because today I went ape shit. You know what I'm saying? I went into gorilla mode. And,
man, I always like talking with you, man. Even when you go off, man, I don't always have the time to come around. You know what I mean? I'll be busy, driving and whatnot. So
for sure. Well, thank you for dropping by, man. Make sure you do so again at some later time, my brother.
Oh, definitely. Keep on chopping it up, man. You're doing good work.
Yes, sir.
All right, later, y'all.
See, this is the thing this is the thing that fucks me up, right? You're the most educated, right? You're more educated than black men formally, okay? Now, we're not talking about like just native intelligence or practical wisdom. We're just talking about paper degrees, okay? Yeah. So, but this should at least make you, cognitively superior on being able to absorb and to interpret empirical data on the social realities that we live in, okay? This is something you should be able to do.
Not unless you're hell-bent on betraying the community subconsciously. You wouldn't.
But see, these women, look, to them, this is how this shit goes, right? They've been taught. And a lot of women understand, because I know some good-ass women, man, who married down. In reference to social economic shit in the white world. Okay, they married men who had less substance in relation to economic advantages than the men that they married. I know women who got doctoral degrees that married fucking ex-cons. You hear me? So some of them get it. And not all the women in the university are on this old radical, I hate men shit. Not all of them are, okay? I know a few of them, okay? But at the same time, man, you got some women, man, who feel that they are entitled, to meet Prince Charming, or that they are delusional enough to think that they're going to meet a guy who's going to fulfill all of these traditionally masculine functions, and they have no thing at all that they can offer up to make that something attractive to men. It's like, okay, well, I got 2 babies. How many kids you got? I got 2 of them. How many baby daddies you got? Well, I got 2 of them. Well, how many times have you been married or engaged? Well, I haven't been married, but I was engaged 4 times. Like, huh? Like, what was wrong with your father, the father of your children? And sometimes some black men are fucked up. They can't be repaired because the system has fucked them up. Or they might just be fucked up themselves, okay? But listen, there are some women who get it and are like, look, I'm not marrying this motherfucker just for the sake of trying to come up in some grand fucking money scheme. Because not every woman is really reared like that. But it's enough of them, like the ones calling in to Kevin Sanders, all he's doing is saying, look, ma'am, listen, you're not perfect. So you're not going to get the top 1, 5, 10% of men. You're not going to find a guy making 300 G's a year, ma'am, in your condition. Just, and if you do, you'll be damn lucky. But with your attitude and disposition, you're probably not going to get it. Okay? You just need an average guy and build with that motherfucker. America is a materially rich country to begin with anyway. It's the only place where you can be a poor motherfucker and go buy a pair of Jordans, man. You got cable television, the internet, PlayStations and shit, even if you broke, man.
None of it makes sense. It is the most asinine thing that we're living in a country or in a world where it has basically centered the idea of making women available to corporate America, to make them, have access to college and university, which means that you will eventually be lucky enough to make more money than your possible mate. Let's say, for example, my last wife was a 6-figure earner. I've never made 6 figures, but we had issues over money. I'm like, this makes no sense. This is nonsense. We have everything we need. What are you doing here? Why are we having fights about, the economics when I could see within my own family that other people, other couples can work it out, work together and build up everything that they need if it's based on love. That's another thing a lot of us were confused about. I thought you married someone because you were in love with them, that you were supposed to be able to build your family based on the qualities and traits of the reason why you walked down the aisle with them. I did not realize that I had to, that I had to fit, a socioeconomic standard, which again, if you've listened to, 100 hours of Yvette Carnell, 100 hours of Antonio Moore showing you the data that this is not practical or real. So all you need to do is do a little bit of homework with your educated ass and figure out that, what is the likelihood of you being with somebody that can even, provide that particular lifestyle for you here in America? The likelihood is low.
But see, bro, I hear you, and I hear Gigi, and in the spirit of not generalizing, because I don't mean, and from my point of view, I don't mean to put across the position that I believe that there's a majority of black women are feminist traitors, black feminists, or anti-black misandrists, or whatever we call them. Or that we obviously know that a majority of our women aren't the ones that understand the crimson cures, the ones that sit and listen in the comments. What I would wager, though, or posit rather, is that finger, that proverbial finger Jason Whitlock mentioned in his monologue, that black women had in the air to kind of trace which way power was going and what decision they were going to make. I think that's where a majority of our women actually land. They still have that finger in the air. Hence why you get judged by your financial your earning power at the time of your marriage or whatever time you're evaluated at, which is random from a black woman, I think they have their fingers still in the air trying to measure the power dynamics. And the majority of our women will go wherever the power seems to be swinging, which I don't like the vibe of that. That's where a lot of and I think we get a lot of disrespect or dismissal from the statistics or the facts that we bring across in this space from even the average non-feminist, semi-harmless, in the middle of the road black woman, because I think they have their finger in the air. They're waiting to see which way everybody goes. They followed the feminists for the last 30 years or 20 years, so because that was where the power was going, and hopefully maybe the power will shift in the favor of the women that understand us, that want to build families with us, actually understand the potential community we could have if we all cooperated. Hopefully it wins, but if it doesn't, I feel like the way our women in our community, the majority of them, or significant majority of them, is oriented is that they got their fucking finger in the air, waiting for it to actually they're not committing to one or the other before they see which one wins. And that's some traitorous shit to me too. So that's
but
really what
you
I
gotta, but you got to look at the social landscape. So look, I'm a firm believer in inward choice making, but there's also outward culturalization or enculturation. Okay, you look everywhere in the media nowadays, you're going to get an intersectional feminist narrative. In the school system, you're going to get an intersectional feminist narrative. That's what's being taught. Okay, and they're also being taught to, maintain the vestiges of an older system where men were supposed to perform certain duties or roles within the context of a nuclear family. But it just so happens that black men are unique. I mean, there's a lot of black men who are making the average of what anybody in this culture is making, and even those men aren't good enough. Right. Like if you're average, you're going to get average. If you're above average, you're still going to, in most cases, get average. It's difficult, man, to get above average in anything. Otherwise, it wouldn't be above average. Okay? So it ain't no secret why motherfucking basketball players marrying motherfucking badass, like girls with slim waists and fat asses and, fair skin features. Because that's what they've been taught is beautiful, and that's what the society is throwing up as an image, so that's what they're going to go for. They're going to holler at the baddest motherfuckers, man. Bottom line, because they have access to them, because the women are going to be like, look, this is the type of guy I perceive as being of the top tier. The man's going to be like, yeah, you right, you going to get this, I'm going to choose up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put you on a rotation to see if you actually loyal, but come on, man. Come on. We already know the reality, but nobody wants to actually just play it out and put it on the table. We got to continue to play this game. It's like the Game of Thrones ain't just all about violence. You got to be, outright all the time. Sometimes you got to be manipulative and sinister and underhanded and use subterfuge and shit like that. I'm tired of playing them games, though. Look, we got an issue. We got a problem. Y'all been enculturated to believe, and this is like Jason Whitlock said, man, over the past 60 years, a lot of black women have been enculturated to become Cersei Lannisters, bro. Just tyrannical.
But Jeezy,
and this is just the way the shit is. If you got that much power, you got the family court at your behest. You got Poppy on speed dial. I'm talking about 911 on speed dial. Even if you know you in the wrong and you fucked up. And a lot of these chicks know they fucked up, man. Not all of them are fucked up. We talking about the ones that are. Just freaking the system and doing ignorant and wicked shit. All we ever have said is, look, it's black men that's fucked up, but it's also black women that are fucked up, and they also contribute to these problems. And you can't lay all the cards on the table and tell the truth about all of it so we can solve it and have a holistic approach to solving it. We're never going to get anywhere. All we're doing is spinning our fucking wheels and like yabba dabba doo, got our feet moving, but the car's still in the same goddamn place. I want to make some progress on this shit, but I'm not going to. I ain't never been the type of dude that sit back and just let a motherfucker disrespect me Like I will allow a motherfucker, I will play the sensei role, like, you know, the kung fu, like, why, you know, like, please, I've allowed you to do so much. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then when you get swatted like a fly, then you wonder why you're on your ass. It's because I gave you opportunity. I told you what kind of disposition I'm in. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, all I'm trying to do is articulate this point, man. These women have been enculturated into this schema, this social schema. And so, yeah, a lot of them are mindful of it. Some of them are not mindful of it. But it's a lot of good women out here, man. But a lot of them just, you know, they haven't been educated themselves, man. We all fucked up out here.
And Doc, how do we hold? I'm asking you, Sensei. How do we hold them accountable in this moment? Because like I get what you're saying. It's more complicated than a straight line that we can just paint black women with this traitorous brush and that they deliberately cavorting with the enemy to take down the community. We know it's not that simple, and it doesn't even appear that simple from the annals of the history you study and teach us. But I'm trying to figure out how do we, because we understand, like the basketball player example you used, we've been holding that basketball player accountable for dating what the society says is the most beautiful thing, which is the skinny waist, lighter skinned women. And the black community, black women, have made sure we've held them accountable accordingly to being basically going along with the brainwashing. How do we hold our women accountable? Because we can't really say it's a lot. Like most of them are good. I think even my girl is good, but she got Gynocracy theory all through her, narratives and shit that we gotta decompartmentalize one by one, and it's hard to figure out where do we how do we, because like to your point, getting tired of this shaming tactics and ignoring the facts and not trying to have the actual conversation. Like how do we deal with that?
Man,
outside of
by talking, speaking. That's why I say speak up. Like you know, like a closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody knows what's going on unless you say it's something going on. And look, man, Friday said there are not a lot of good women. Look, I know. Look. All I'm saying is this, man. I'm not here I'm not here to bash all women, bro.
I get it, Doc.
But my whole thing is right now, black men haven't spoken for a while, and so it is offensive. It's like scratching your nails over a chalkboard to these people because they are not used to it. They're used to men falling on the sword and deferring to this whole notion of infantilizing, pedestalizing women. I'm like, fuck all that. First of all, I've been like, you have not taken as much feminist theory as I have. I'm not you personally, but most of these chicks, man, they haven't. Mm-hmm. There's no way in hell you're gonna tell me you done read Mary Wollstonecraft. That's one of the first feminists, okay? You ain't read that shit. You ain't read John Stuart Mill's On Women. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You ain't read Gloria Steinem. You ain't read that shit. You probably ain't even read the fucking Combahee River Collective. You read some blog pieces and shit.
Don't know.
You ain't read Barbara Wallace for real.
All I know is read that bell hooks.
Okay,
all I know is bell hooks.
Doc, let me ask you this. How do you deal with the lady that started the petition that got the 15,000 signatures to take Bro Show down? She said out of her mouth she don't care that none of the DV accusations that she was making and the stats she was using don't fit the stats, the official stats. She doesn't care. She's gonna do she's gonna put the petition together anyway and hopes it grows and gets his show canceled. Outside of talking, because I heard people talking to her for 2 hours today. She was like, by the end, I don't care. All these stats is irrelevant. And she was a teacher. She said she was a teacher. So like, we know she understands statistics. I think BGS told her on the thing, you understand statistics, but she got to the point where she was, nah, bro, it don't matter. I know what you're saying, but we all can find statistics to match our own reality. That was what she said. So at that point, ain't no talking. Because at that point, you just saying basically, fuck you. I don't care about those statistics. I'm doing it anyway. And I'm going to try I'm trying to destroy you anyway. Fight.
Let me say, here's my response. Look, it's already noted. Look at first of all, most of these women have degrees in psychology when they go to college.
Uh-huh.
Trust and believe what I'm telling you. That's one of the biggest fields that they go into. So they know what the fuck is going on. Look,
They playing mind games, you saying?
man, mind games like a motherfucker. Don't get it twisted, man. I don't believe women are
Oh,
unintelligent and just
Yeah,
pure.
they playing mind games. Tell them, GG.
I'm gonna
Let
throw
me
this
let me
fucking laptop if I find that out, man.
let me go look at this shit, man.
You
Find
might as well
out
crush
what the
that
biggest.
motherfucker, because that's exactly what the fuck they've been doing for 6+ decades. Crush your computer, homie, because that's all they do is play mind games.
But they playing mind games with doctors, bro. You a doctor, you a PhD, your fucking self. How you playing PhD games with another? That means you think this shit is a game. You know if I hit you for doing this, you're gonna send me to jail.
Because
So
they
I'm
do.
playing with
It is a game, sir. When you go wake up. This is not checkers, this is chess.
No,
And they've been playing chess for 6+ decades. Ever since. Man, so listen to what Gigi's telling you. Absorb it. Don't just be shot by it. I mean, I know it sounds depressing at first, but just analyze all of it, because he's speaking truth, fam.
No, big bro. No, you misunderstanding me. Y'all backing me into a corner at this point.
No.
I'm gonna start swinging.
Right.
If it's like that, just hear me out. I understand what y'all saying. I believe you. My point is, if that's the case, if that's the terrorist I'm dealing with, that is willing to go read the statistics, ignore them, and act like they didn't see them, and then play reverse psychology games and shit, like, I don't know what are you expecting me to do as a black man? Because at that point, I can't discuss this. I can't discuss this.
Gigi, did you see the one with the psychologist gentlemen, did y'all see the one with the psychologist that sat down with Kevin Samuels and he broke her? And she had to admit all that shit, but she was playing games.
Yeah, the therapist.
Go back and watch that one, and you'll see for yourself.
But a therapist ain't a psychologist. But this is what I'll say. Okay, look. This is what I will say. But most of them don't become clinical psychologists or academic psychologists.
Yeah,
most people matriculate out of college, get the degree. It's an easy degree to get, man. I mean, it's not the most difficult. All right, it ain't the easiest, but it ain't basket weaving, but it's not astrophysics. Okay, it's not that. Okay, but here's the deal, man. First of all, when you're talking with people, man, there are certain norms that apply to having conversations. You already know this. Like, you can come into a conversation knowing that you're open-minded and you're going to be flexible and you're going to be amenable to the exchange of reasons, or you can come with an agenda. Mm-hmm. Okay? That woman has an agenda, and the agenda is based upon something that comes out of the academy. Right. I mean, and there are people in the academy who've argued against this shit. Like, okay, it's a bad idea to tell students that hearing things that make you uncomfortable is violence, man. It's fucked up to do that. Mm-hmm. Just not preparing you to deal with the real world. These people have been coddled to such an extent that they can't take confrontation anymore. This is pitiful, man. You can't be the backbone of a community, a population. Let me stop calling it a community. You can't be the backbone of a population that's a snowflake in a cupcake. You can't have. How can you be the backbone of a community and you can't take words that are uncomfortable, or arguments or positions that are uncomfortable, and then you mischaracterize them and you regard them as violence? That's just bad shit, man. Well, hold on, wait a minute. I just want to make this point.
Go ahead.
It's gotten to such an extent that in the academy, there are some people who are biologists who will have a conversation or talk about the difference, not only just appearance-wise between men and women, but chromosomally, hormonally, physiologically, and with different bodily functions and different processes, that things that women can do that men can't do. There are some students who will regard an explication of that differentiation as violence. Jeez. Right. I'm serious, man. So it's gotten to the point, and then they'll start yelling and screaming and issuing, insults themselves. And so then it gets to the point where, or they'll try to shout out, or shut down the conversation by just being rude or whatever the case may be. So that this culture has started within the context of the academy. Mm. And it's gonna have, like, the outside of the culture has to come and say, look, I don't care what your feelings are. I don't care. Like, at this point, I really don't give a shit about your feelings, because you damn sure don't give a fuck about mine. If we're telling you, look, we got some pathology going on amongst us, and we're tired of just not speaking our piece, and then the first thing you do when you come in and you hear what we have to say is you come with an insult. That shit right there is just, it's like, okay, you want to be at odds. Okay, but then you want me to be controlled, and you want me to be obsequious and sensitive to whatever it is that you're thinking and you're feeling, but fuck my feelings and my thought process.
It's
fuck
funny.
that, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is over with. I told you a long time ago, man. I told you at the beginning of this show, it's over for that, bro. It's done. I'm
So
like Vince Carter. I'm like, I got my elbow in the rim. I swear to God, man. If you scared, go to church.
If
your feelings, you know what I'm saying?
Samantha's D.
Because see, look, let me just
basically-
say, and the reason I brought up psychology initially is because men and women exhibit aggression differently. Women engage in reputation ruination. That's one of the ways that they behave aggressively. Men are just outright physically aggressive. Women engage in reputation ruination. This is what they do in order to be aggressive. It's not that they're not aggressive, it's just that they exhibit it differently along a bell curve, if you want to talk about the bell curve. On the bell curve, women exhibit aggression differently. This is a psychological fact. Or at least it's an empirical fact that has been evinced from the study that psychologists have done. Go look this shit up.
The weirdest thing about that is they do both, though. You know what I mean? When they lose control physically, they can be physically aggressive. I know this personally, and then they can also become very damaging to your reputation when they want to. It's a consistent thing. I think when the brother was talking about putting your finger in the wind and figuring out where it goes, the experiences that I've had with one woman since 1996, I'd argued her about why, she had a real thing for Bill Clinton. I would break down to her a lot of his anti-liberal policies and things that were, detrimental to the Black community. And at this point, the same woman years later had become more of a Alex Jones Trump person. This is a Black woman, right? So she doesn't technically buy into a feminist narrative whatsoever. She just has a lot of anti-Black male misandry within her. Now, I don't know whether that comes from personal experiences that she grew up with. My assumption is it's a psychological thing. But at the end of the day, we are low-hanging fruit that you can use. You can use well-meaning Black men, say, for example, these hyper-liberal, left-leaning. You can use right-wing white men against us. You can use feminists against us. You can use women who are not as educated against us. And you can use women who are very well educated against us. Brothers, we are a serious target. And because we don't like to speak with the same amount of volume that women have, we haven't been able to speak up. But I think listening, and learning from, like I'd said before, the Combahee River Collective that Brother Gigi did before was instructive, but also when BGS back in 2017, I believe, read E. Franklin Frazier's book, that was another eye-opening thing, because there were things I saw within some of the things that E. Franklin Frazier was saying back then. I'm like, shit, I'm living this right now. And I did not know it. So it's long. The history is long.
Yeah. As far as the cognitive dissonance that we experience, at least I experienced coming from our female counterparts, I guess what I'm taking away is that essentially for the last few generations, Black women have been educated by the academy, as you referred to the academia that at the colleges, and in a certain philosophy that then they take out into the world and interface with us, with their Black men. And I guess they don't regard us as learned. So they figure they've just been taught all this shit by PhD professors in lectures. And then, so how can I come out and some nigga on YouTube tell me, no, the statistics are actually this, and your professors are fucking obfuscating the actual data to make a point, a philosophical or a propagandized point. So is that essentially the problem, what we're actually dealing with when we have like a teacher making a petition based on statistics that she claims she knows and experiences, and when you guys as other actual PhDs disprove it, it's not taken serious because you niggas don't go to college. So how did you learn that? Is that essentially it?
I damn near graduated with honors after having to drop 6 classes without making them up. My one woman in particular knew my GPA. She would see every time I was on the dean's list. She understood that academically I was, and I went to the same university as her sister, and her sister was nowhere near had my academic record. They don't care about those things. They will find anything to tear you down. They don't care about what if you don't go to college.
Is it the dogma that they're taught that essentially that through this feminist several waves of feminism that's been matriculating through the academy, as Gigi outlined so eloquently, and that most professors aren't like Gigi, which was their positioning black men in an actual more realistic and actual real life perspective. It's a lot of it's a
rule.
They're basically they're brainwashed, I guess.
I feel like it's not just the academy, though. I feel like it comes from television. It comes from the society writ large. Again, remember, we're in a hyper-capitalist society, right? And the winners are obvious. It is obviously who's winning the game of capitalism. And when we have so much materialism and material worship within our community, and media consumption, and of course the education, there's so many factors that go into what would make somebody destroy the family, not to mention, again, policies that were set forth. All of this is a
kind of a way
of social engineering.
We're trying to understand you, but you're Borging.
Okay, social engineering is what I say.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, my thing is, black men, they'll try to shame you. I have no shame, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you don't like what I'm saying, man, just get some help. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to deal with tough talk in the world. See, what we've done is we've made it so that there is no risk in the society that we live in. Like everybody wants to be chaperoned and shit and monitored and carried around and escorted and shit. The world has never been a safe place, man. And we ain't asking for exact safety as black men, but we like, damn, man, like, you picking us off like Public Enemy, bro. And then we got like black women who have co-signed what these white women have been on. Because all the civil, that's like this Jason Whitlock, we've been saying this, man, in long form, but he said it in like 30 minutes in a way that is digestible to the average Joe in the public, okay? White women came and hijacked the civil rights movement, man. Period. Because the biggest, everything the black folks collectively were supposed to receive went to them. Then they said, okay, well, as black women, we're part of it. So they was like, we want some of the gimmies and the goodies and the grab-ems also. So don't leave us out.
They hijacked it with a box cutter because they ain't have to do too fucking much.
And then they said, well, we're black and women, so we're doubly oppressed. And black men oppress us because they're sexist.
And black women picked it up and went even harder.
And white women are racist, but even though they're not sexist, and white men are just patriarchal assholes, so we're the most oppressed group. Yeah. And black men over here getting fucking killed, getting incarcerated, getting assaulted by women, getting sexually molested by women, getting abused as children by their mothers who beating the shit out of them. I mean, senseless in some instances, destroying their property. Then you got, it's like, hold on, wait a minute. How long do you think that we're going to sit back and not consciousness raise and develop groups to where we can work this shit out and develop a lexicon of our own in order to try to figure out, to feel our way through what the fuck we've been going through and to make sense of it and to understand it as injustice or oppression or domination You mean we don't have the tools to do that? You don't want us to be able to do that. You know why you don't want us to be able to do that. Because you don't want the fucking gravy train to end. This is like a pig in slop right now. Everybody's happy with this shit, but we can clearly see how dysfunctional it is. This is fucked up, man. You got kids, man, coming up without their daddies around. You got motherfucking women acting like dudes and shit, tough, coming out being disrespectful. You got men, like just being silent and being like the kind of men that women don't even fucking want or respect. It's like this is a cesspool, man. It's fucked up. And then we sit back and we talk about the what do they call it? The symptoms of the shit without getting to the origin of it. Because to go to the origin of it, then you have to go and evaluate, actually reevaluate what we consider the justice to be. Then we got to go back and see the flaws in that. And at this point, nobody wants to do that because primarily it's the tokens, man. It's these token women in these universities. And trust me, they're tokens, man. It ain't a bulk of black folks nowhere in no university system in the fucking country, bro. There's a whole bunch of white women in that motherfucker, though, I can tell you that. They every goddamn where. But it ain't a whole bunch of Negroes, male or female, up in that joint. I'm just being honest. Okay, so at the end of the day, man, black men have been quiet for a hell of a long time. We haven't been saying anything. And the thing, there have been outlets, like there's been rap music, there's been comedy, there's been, like books and novels and shit that were written by, men, at least, in the past. There have been people who've, like pushed back against it. That's why I started showing all that feminist stuff early on when I started doing, my show, because I'm like, I want you to see it and learn it and evaluate it, because you can't critique it if you don't know it. Okay? And look, I'm not trying to say that, men should just become like abusive to women or anything. That's bullshit. But I'm saying, look, women have to understand that they do some foul and fucked up shit as well. And until they admit it, we're going to keep giving them this motherfucking work, man. You're going to keep getting the work. It's just what it is. We ain't going to stop talking. We're not going to bow down because you say, okay, I'm going to fill out some petition to start a crusade. Who cares, man? You're already stepping over our dead bodies and getting deals and shit. Like, what else can you do? You can't do shit else to us. There's nothing else you can do to us, man. You've already done the unforgiving. You've already done too much. And then, the first thing, the shit that fucks me up is these chicks say, look, who hurt you? As if it's okay to hurt us, like, or if it's laughable if we are hurt. Apparently there's something fucking hurting about us. Because we fucking in this space talking about some shit that's hurting us. We talking about our vulnerabilities. But at the same time, we want to overcome them. This is what this shit is about. We're talking about the ways we're being fucked over and how we need to stop being fucked over. This is all it is. And if that's offensive to you, then what it is to me is signals you don't have any empathy, you're narcissistic, and everything in the black population just supposed to center around you. Yeah, no, that's not the way the world works, man. We don't have to be quiet. We live in a country that's supposed to be grounded on free speech. No, talking and having a conversation that you don't like is not tantamount or equivalent to violence. Even if it does lead to violence, it's not directly violent, so you can't censor it. You can't tell us to be quiet and to shut up because you don't like what we're saying. You're going to get this work, period. And you're going to get it in the tone we want to give it to you. Bottom line, as long as we ain't putting our hands on you, you shouldn't give a fuck. As long as we ain't up in your face, you know what I'm saying, provoking you, what the fuck so what? We have a space where we can talk about shit related to us. Case closed. Peace. Put a period on that motherfucker. Put a dot under the exclamation mark, man. We got our own space, man. We got our own issues. We're making sense and we're consciousness raising where we are. If you don't like it, get the fuck on down the road, man. Go fuck with Zaddy and them. Go fuck with Pele, not Pele, but Pepe or whoever the fuck. Go fuck with Mr. Men or some shit like that. If that's what you want, go get with that, man. Leave us the fuck alone. We done with this browbeating, the berating, all the passive aggressive gaslighting shit. Like I don't have time for that. I'm gonna come out and tell you what I really feel. Like I'm coming out like that's how you want it. Coming out like Tyson. You already know what you already saw Tyson earlier. I'm coming like Tyson. That's how I'm coming, man. Ain't got time to play games with these people, man.
Metaphorically speaking.
I'm not playing with these people, man.
Shit no more, and y'all shouldn't be neither.
They try to do debates with me on Facebook, and I cut them down. They don't have a comeback. And I use the Bible, and I throw scriptures in their face, and they don't know what to do with it. I got two I want to quote, and I want to be real brief. Both is right out of Proverbs. Okay. Proverbs 11:22. A woman that lacking discretion and modesty is like a fine gold ring in a pig's snout. And then the other one is Proverbs 21:19. It is better for a man to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome, fretful woman.
There you go. And look, like this country has gotten to the point where you can't tell women shit because they playing the oppression Olympics. But when you stack up every major index of well-being, we're at the bottom of the fucking list. Education, we're at the bottom of the list. Incarceration, we're at the bottom of the list. Yep. Dying early, we're at the bottom of the top of the list. In any negative list, we're at the top of the damn thing. Okay? When it comes to being able to read, we're at the bottom of the list. And y'all educating us. Y'all are parenting us. A lot of y'all doing so alone. Now, some of us, look.
And Gigi, you would think those educated ones who got educated, that would be like a slap in the face to know that, all right, I done made it, I done got this degree, and I'm educated, but everybody underneath me, like-minded like me, they can boys, nevertheless, they can barely read. 12th grade reading level and stuff. You would want to go back and encourage these kids in this community. Man, look, if I got it together, you can get it together. But they don't do that. They don't do that.
They used to do it. You know, like Fannie Lou Hamer was a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Mamie Till was a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like Ella Baker was, like these old school motherfuckers, they was the shit. Okay? Like even Elaine Brown and Catherine Cleaver. Kathleen Cleaver, these was women, man, who understood. Look, this is the way they getting us. This is the way they getting them. We need to use a collective strategy in order to, basically resist against the impending doom all around us. But all of a sudden, like your boy Jason Whitlock, like Jason Whitlock said, man, they took the 20 pieces of silver. And like we supposed to act like it didn't occur. We supposed to act like that shit didn't happen. And you got all these programs, all this shit pushing up black women. As soon as something comes for black boys and black men, the first thing they say is it's sexist. And it ain't just the rank and file black woman saying this. It's these damn academicians and shit. Because they trying to keep their job security in place, man. Which I find that's tokenism. If you going to do the Daffy dance, I'm going to point the shit out. I'm just tired of motherfuckers doing the Daffy dance. And we supposed to act like they ain't doing the Daffy dance. If you're a token Negro, if you're a coon, you're a coon if you're a male or a female. Period. I'm calling it out. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm saying that black men do fucked up shit, but so do women. And until we can get to that point and acknowledge the truth, instead of just saying, oh, it was only men, and then, trying to use this fucking snowflake narrative, this, there it is again. I hate to go back to it. This narrative, the fallout narrative. Man, I ain't never seen a motherfucker that's the backbone that fall out. And it's so fucking sensitive. If you running shit, you ain't got time to be sensitive. If you running this shit, if you leading this shit, don't lead with shame and guilt. Lead with some substance, man. Lead with some truth and some fucking honor. That's what we talking about. I don't have a problem with women leading if they leading with truth and honor and clarity and accountability. And with some publicity, meaning that you're letting everything be seen. We just recently saw a group of women, man, who following the playbook of the Combahee River Collective, got their own organization talking about where the bread at. They like, fuck it, we retired. It's time for me to go to the private sector after they done collected millions of dollars and shit over dead black men's bodies. And the best thing they got is black trans women's lives matter too. Why they off in the Hamptons or some shit? That's not revolutionary work, bruh. It just is not, man. It's not. It's some token coon shit. And it is what it is. And until we start actually calling it what it is, it's gonna continue to happen. So black men continue to say what they gotta say. If somebody try to shut you down, fuck it, you tried to shut me down, it still ain't gonna stop me from speaking. And I ain't saying all women are fucked up, man. I'm saying that this narrative is fucked up for one. That typecast us all as like ontologically evil. We going through the same shit and more that a lot of these women going through. But they will not acknowledge it. They used to acknowledge it. Mamie Till understood it. Fannie Lou Hamer understood it. A lot of these women in the past got it. You understand what I'm saying? But these women nowadays, man, it's like, fuck it. It's all about me. If we're free, everybody else is free by default. That is some bullshit. And we're pointing it out and we're saying, look, we got a different set of challenges. We want to work on ours. Now, a lot of energy in the manosphere is directed towards women, in particular black women. No, that can be hard for them to hear sometimes. But God damn it, you've been talking to us like we the fucking dregs of the earth for the past 50 to 60 years.
Exactly. And that gets grazed over every day.
So if you can issue out that shit for 50 to 6 years, you gonna get this work.
Give them that work, GG. Give them 60 plus years back payment work.
Hey, they gonna get this work. We ain't got images of we ain't got movies like motherfucking The Color Purple and shit. We ain't got departments where we just telling the world how fucked up black women are. Exactly. All we got is Kevin Samuels telling women.
We ain't got Goldman Sachs giving us billions of dollars neither.
Well, hey, man, that's that coon token shit anyway. That ain't putting money into all black women's pockets, man. That's putting a certain select group of black women into a certain space as a buffer class. That's all that shit is. That ain't making like the rank and file black woman. That ain't putting no paper in her pocket. That's just real talk. That ain't putting money into the rank and file black woman pocket, man. That's putting these educated black women, like top tier, upper middle class black women, into certain spaces. And then, but black women have always have been in white spaces because they're non-threatening in those spaces, man. Yep. Then they get some eye candy. Zaddy get to hit something every now and then. It just is what it is, man. I'm right now, man. I'm 2:30 into it. I can go on all night, man. I've been quiet for a minute. I know I got a little ignorant today, but sometimes ignorance, you need that to let a motherfucker know.
It's needed, bro. Some ignorance is needed sometimes to keep people in line. To let them know, look, it's a line right here, threshold. You cross it, something gonna happen.
Yeah, man. I'm like, look, I'm to the point where you want to come to me? No, no, sir. Not going to do it. We're not going down this path.
Yeah, GG, okay? We gotta say something, or we gonna get left with the cost of this slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration. If we don't wage this war right now, it's gonna end up solely in our laps. The cost of it.
All I want to say is to all the people out there, man, whether you male or female, whether you straight or gay, I don't give a fuck who you are. If I agree with you, cool, we agree. I'm preaching to the choir. If I disagree with you, let's have a conversation that's built on norms related to conversation. If I'm doing a show, I'm being rhetorical while I'm doing my show. If you find it offensive, click off the motherfucker, man. But if you come in my shit disrespectful, I'm going to fucking disrespect you back. Period. Like it, love it. What? Oh, you want some more of it? Come back to this bitch Breaking Bad, and I'm gonna give you some more booms. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got no time to play games, man. You feel me? Cause I come in expecting to have decent, respectful, and honorable conversation. But if you want this work, I'm gonna give you that work, baby. If that's what you want. My uncle used to say a long time ago, Wilson Pickett, I got him for you. You feel me? If you want this work, I can give it to you. Stay out of my motherfucking chat. You won't get that work. Just mind your business. If you ain't here to talk about what we talking about, you ain't even trying to engage us on a straight up, like real level, on a straight up real substantive level, kick rocks, man. Kick some big ones and break your foot with the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, like I said always, man, like, you know, in terms of my haters, bruh, you know, I hope my haters doing well, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope they're having a good night. But if you fucking around with me trying to be ignorant, you got to be able to win the ignorant war. That's like capping on the motherfucker at the lunch table. Don't start joning and you don't want to get joned on. It's always a nigga to do that though. Like he start joning and then all of a sudden you just roast his ass. Now he mad, he all up in his fee-fees and shit. No, dog, you started that. You don't want that? You don't want that work? Don't come with that work. You don't want that disrespect? Don't come with that disrespect. You want to have a real conversation? We can have it. But you know what? I can't be faded, cause I'm a nigga from the motherfucking streets. G with a PhD. You know who it is. Hey, man, thank y'all for coming, man. Y'all got some last statements you want to make, man? And we can get up on out this joint.
I think, you know, God, every day that I'm able to stumble across you, Dr. Tommy Curry, T.S.I. Johnson, you know, our brother BGS, you brothers have really, Brother Ronald Neal, have been bringing some real heat to the space, real knowledge. I love every aspect of it, and I love the way the brothers get down. Keep our fingers crossed, but you know, I think we can win this fight, man. I think we have the intelligence and the power.
Hey man, I want to play that Bilal. I don't know if you ever heard the song "Sometimes" by Bilal, man. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna play that shit before my show tomorrow, man.
Philadelphia,
you know what I'm saying?
Souls.
I wanted to play it today, but I was like scared they might shut my shit down. So I was like, this is my first day back. Let me at least come out. Then I done went and clowned and cursed some motherfuckers out. So it is what it is, though. If you come to me with some straight up and down integrity, I'm gonna come to you with some. But you come to me with that bullshit, that fuckery duckery, man, I'm cancel. I cancel that. I'm phasing that out. Don't come to me with that bullshit. Come to me with some real shit. Then you'll get some real shit in return. Come to me with the fuckery duckery. I'm fuckery duckering your ass back. Period. But anyway, man, let me let y'all. You spoke T-Fitness. Salute to you, my brother, man. You always been a supporter, man. Thank you so much, man, for always being there for me, bro.
Peace, brother.
Charlie Brown, man.
Man, like I said, we not getting left with the cost of, you know, everything that our lineage got left for us. So we got to speak up. We got to wage the war, whether it be on an intellectual basis or an ignorant basis. And we just look forward for the show tomorrow. We appreciate you, GG.
Hey, man, I'm going hard in the paint, man. Like I said, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Yes, sir.
Without a strong show to step to. So, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I gotta do, man. I gotta keep hitting y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for being gone for so long. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
AL, man, talk to us, brother, man. Kick the Willie Bobo, man. AL, I guess he muted right now. J Diesel, man. JJ, what's cracking, man? Give us some knowledge, man, before we fade out.
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm calling out of Forest City, Arkansas, and I drove nationwide. I've heard derogatory racist comments, and then, and the shaming tactics from these women. You know, one thing I use for all of them, the truth and sarcasm and to boot. and it shuts them down.
There you go, my brother, man. Hey, man, look, it just get to the point sometimes, man, where some of the bullshit that you receive is unbearable, man.
That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more.
I'm old school. That's that Popeye, man. Like when Popeye start eating that spinach, you know it's about to crack off in this joint. Now you want to get olive oil, want to protect it and all that shit. I saw a show today, man. Well, not today, but yesterday. I'm a sci-fi fan, so Bones was his name, man. I think it was the second season of Star Trek. And this woman, she was an alien, and she was pregnant, and she just kept slapping the shit out of Bones, man. It's like slapped him again. Slapped him again. Bones, man, reached back and slapped that motherfucker like, hey, motherfucker, you ain't gonna keep slapping me, man. And guess what? She was like, you can touch me now. But the seriousness of it all is, don't keep fucking with dogs, man, because you might get bit.
Yep.
That's all it is, man. And you ain't above reproach. Whoever you are, you're not above reproach. We are human beings. We have innate dignity just as much as you do. We're not your Everlast bags. Either psychologically, financially, we're not your EBT cards. And, like physically, we're not Everlast bags. You can't keep fucking with us.
No.
We're not your whipping boys. Stop it. We realize what's going on. It's about time to shut it down. That's all it is to it, man. Thank you so much, JJ Diesel, man. Be safe on the road if you ever get back big out there. You know what I'm saying? So just be safe, my brother.
I appreciate it. Enjoyed the show from what little I was able to join.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining, man. Come back again.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom. Peace. We're going to wait to see if AL got something else to say. AL, man, it's like kind of out there right now. He ain't got nothing to say. So I'm about to close this out, man. Y'all be peaceful. I'll be back tomorrow again with another one. Until the next time, man. Be easy, man. Peace.